Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Taya Salam. It's great to have you join us again. All right, this is what the show looks like. We're starting off with the Nigerian Women's Premiership Super 6, and we have our champions. It's no other than Rivers Angels, back to back.
The 7th title and 5th under Edwin O'Connor. Syria champions, you would say. They had to do it the hard way, dropping points in the first 2 games. And the last 3 games, it was a 4-0 winning streak, right? There's something like that, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
On to the program, Manchester City, never in doubt, again, for the 8th time, and it's 4 in a row for them. They've won the Carabao Cup.
Wow. Manchester City, it's only a matter of time before we start thinking about perhaps renaming this competition in favor of Manchester City. Congratulations to City. Also on the show this time around, let's go to Barcelona, where it's 12 times now Rafael Nadal has won that competition. He's taken on Stefanos Tsitsipas in the final yesterday, and it was Nadal that prevailed in 3 tight sets.
And he needed 3 hours, 38 minutes to get that 12th title. How tough was that?
It was always going to be tough.
It was because I remember 3 years ago when they met, it was a rout. But then Tsitsipas is growing. He won a Monte Carlo, so you don't expect him to be...
Tsitsipas is grown in leaps and bounds from all those years ago. And like you said, champion from Monte Carlo just a couple of weeks ago. So.
Let's move straight to the basketball court, starting up with the results of the night. About how many games were played? About 7 games were played on late Sunday night and early hours of this morning. We have our pick, but first let's look at all the results coming from the NBA.
Let's start with the Celtics and the Charlotte Hornets.
The earliest game.
Yes, 125-104 in favor of Charlotte. Devontae Graham with 24 points and 9 assists in that game.
Terry Rozier, 21 points, 11 assists. PJ Washington, 22 points, 12 rebounds. Cody Martin, 13 points and 10 rebounds. It was just a good day for them.
All-round good day for the Charlotte Hornets. Elsewhere, the star match of the night was between the Suns, the second best team in the West, and the Nets, the best team in the East. They took on each other. A very exciting game as expected, very competitive. By the end of the day, it was Brooklyn prevailing 128-119. We'll come back to that game shortly. Elsewhere, we had the Blazers losing against the Memphis Grizzlies, 120-113. Ja Morant with 28 points in that victory. The Cavs lost against the Wizards, 119-110. That was the 8th straight victory for Washington. The Bucks lost against the Atlanta Hawks, 111-104. Lou Williams sinking 4 3-pointers in the final 7 minutes of that game. Orlando Magic, Giannis.
31 and 14. But wasn't enough.
Exactly. The Indiana Pacers defeated the Orlando Magic 131-112. Malcolm Brogdon with 24 points in that game. That game was unfortunately marred by a gruesome ankle injury suffered by Magic rookie Devin Kennedy, wishing him fullest recovery. Last but not the least is the Warriors defeating the Kings 117-113. Steph Curry with 37 points, setting an NBA record for 3-pointers made in a single month at 85.
That's great. He scored at least 30 points for the 13th time in 14 games.
It's ridiculous.
30 points this season.
It's just something.
That's why he's scoring 30, right?
Yeah. We're seeing pictures from the matchup between the Wizards and the Cavs. Like we said, ended 119-110 in favor of Washington. Bradley Beal was the star of the show, second top scorer in the league, finished with 33 points as the Wizards rallied to beat the Cavs 119-110 for the 8th straight victories, the longest win streak in about 20 years.
Yeah, since 2001 when they had a
MJ
Michael Jordan.
on the team.
Yeah,
See how long ago
That's how long
that
it is. 2001. Great one.
Great one, indeed.
For the Cavs, it wasn't a good day for them. But then Isaac Okoro, he had 10 points. Yeah, look at that. 2 rebounds and 2 assists for them. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games. Yeah.
Back to the Wizards. Interesting run of form for them. We know how tough the season has been for them.
Yeah.
You can see Bradley Beal visibly very excited at the end of that game. And like I said the last time, Cecilia, if they continue this kind of streak, they will manage to sneak into the playoffs. Anyways, let's take a listen now to Bradley Beal talking about how they are just one game to tie the franchise record in terms of a winning streak.
It's a blessing. It's an honor for sure. But, you know, we don't pat ourselves on the back or anything like that because we still got our work cut out. Tonight was probably, out of all of our last 8 or 9, was probably one of our not so good nights. And granted, we duked it out and won, but we had a lot of mental lapses and defensive lapses that we shouldn't have had tonight. We damn sure can't have them tomorrow for, you know, against a good team like the Spurs. So, you know, it means a lot to be, you know, a part of history and to be in this position. But, you know, looking in hindsight and looking ahead of what we're trying to accomplish, we still got a lot of things to improve on in a short amount of time.
Yes, still a lot to improve on, but with the way the Wizards are playing right now, you cannot bet against them sneaking into the post-season, especially when you have Bradley Beal playing at this level, and Russell Westbrook as well, Cecilia. Let's go on quickly.
I love the East.
Yeah, the East gives you multiple opportunities
no matter
to
how
make the play.
you stumble at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. So that's what makes you like the East. That's very interesting.
So
Let's talk about the
and
Nets and the Suns. Star match of the night. Quickly, Kevin Durant came back from yet another injury off the bench.
3-game absence.
Yeah, 33 points for this guy. This guy, there's nothing like rusty in his dictionary. Goes out,
like
comes back. Exactly.
When you pick it up, you're just going.
He comes back, finds his rhythm, scores loads of points, leads his teams to victories. And talk about Kevin Durant. Of course, he also got help from that guy,
Kyrie Irving, 34.
Kyrie was cooking right from the start. The Suns just could not stop him, and that's how they've ended up winning this particular game. And Cecilia, they've got a very interesting record against West teams, 20-6.
6, yeah.
That's a major deal.
That's why we're waiting for the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I know, right? But they need to get past
the final.
Exactly. They need to get past the east side.
We have
first.
the 76ers and Milwaukee Bucks.
Exactly.
Those guys are also breathing down on their neck.
Exactly.
So Devin Booker had 36 points. DeAndre Ayton double, 20 and 13. But that's just not enough because they're actually flying. Well, if you look at the record of the Phoenix Suns, 42-18. That's great.
Yeah, I mean they're a good side. A very good side.
41-20 on the other side. Talking about the Nets.
Yeah.
They're a good side. But the Nets somehow, when you have all the star players around, except James Harden, you're able to get that victory.
Anyway, so welcome back, KD. Hopefully no more injuries until the season is over. Let's take a look at our top performers. 4 of them. Kyrie, of course, 36, 34, 6, and 12 on the nights for Brooklyn. Also making the short list is Bradley Beal, 33, 6, and 3. Let's move on to Giannis, 31, 14, and 4 for the Bucks in their loss.
The only guy on the losing side.
Last but not the least, exactly.
The big
Steph
boy.
Curry, 37.
30 for 30.
Wow, what a player. Anyways, let's go now with the show and talk about
the UFC. And
still. Oh my goodness gracious!
Okay. Yeah, so some pundits actually doubted, and maybe,
really?
maybe not.
No, I didn't see any experts.
Not you. Santos could not even predict. It was like his money's in his pocket.
Yeah, exactly. And Santos, to be fair to him,
he was so afraid.
He was nervous. I mean, come on, it's bound to happen. But he also said that if Kamaru Usman,
focuses on knockouts.
Looking for the knockout, he could just get caught and all of that.
And it didn't happen.
That's exactly what he did.
He focused on it and he got what he wanted.
Oh, what a fight, Cecilia. I totally enjoyed this bout.
It ended too soon for me anyway.
Well, I thought you didn't like violence. You don't like too much blood, and that's what it did for you.
I saw blood. I didn't want to see that. I mean, second round, there was blood already. The guy was gone.
Yeah, but he didn't have to see blood in the third and the fourth and the fifth.
He went to sleep. I mean, the last one went to 5th round, which we actually love. But this time around, we didn't see that at all. So he just dominated everywhere.
Dominated.
Just last year, 5 rounds, and this time around, 2 rounds.
No excuses. No excuses again.
So Kamaru Usman to sleep and stop talking.
Yeah, I like how Kamaru Usman handled business in this particular fight. It's shown once again that he's the most dominant champion in the UFC. 14 straight wins now to start his career in the UFC, and just two behind Anderson Silva of Brazil. And what more can we say? That Nigerian is the best fighter in the world right now. We're not going to have this conversation alone. Austin Okunakman is ready to join us. Austin, good morning. I imagine you're as excited as we are in the studio.
Good morning, Tayo. Good morning, Cecilia. I'm super excited that Kamaru Usman put a proper end to that chapter of Ogi Masvidal. You know what? Let's go on our break. When we come back, we'll do the breakdown.
Exactly. A nice one, Austin. Yeah, let's go on that break now. We'll come back. We'll do a comprehensive review of UFC 261, of course, featuring Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We'll go on and continue.
Yeah, with Austin, the breakdown of the UFC.
Yes, 261. Austin, let's just get your take on that fight. You know, Kamaru Usman said after the fight that he was nervous going into this fight and he had to elevate his game. But what a conclusive way to finish off Jorge Masvidal.
Style UFC 261 was mental. You know, Masvidal has been on a good run before this fight. And so, yes, that puts, you know, some sort of pressure on Kamaru Usman. But the champ is the champ. And look, he needed to, you know, end that talk of UFC 251. He dominated that fight, but because it went all the way, Masvidal started he came into the fight, remember, on 6 days notice. Thoughts of what happened with Gilbert Burns, you know, and so with all the good form that he was having, he thought he could have a ride of the champ. But what a way to put some respect on that name. When he defeated Gilbert Burns, he said it put some respect on my name because we're not respecting him. He looked at the pound for pound, you know, list, and it was like, what is Kamaru Usman doing down there? Okay, so these guys need some more proof, and I'll give it to them. And what a story is telling everyone. 14 straight win in the UFC. You mentioned very well that it's just Anderson that's got a better record, 16. This is his 4th straight title defense.
Wow.
What are we talking about? That crushing right hand that he landed on Masvidal. You know, made Masvidal to admit that, look, he's got my number. And you remember it forever. You know, you remember it forever. Kamaru Usman, look, Tayo, I keep telling who wants to listen that this guy will dominate the welterweight for as long as he wants. Set up next is Colby Covington. And you know, Covington has been crying since he lost, you know.
Since his book his jaw.
That one needs a proper beating now because he's been making so much noise. He wants to face the champ again and all of that. We'll see, you know. With this victory over Masvidal, giving Masvidal his first TKO since 2008.
Exactly.
You know, putting down a fighter who's been enjoying good form. You know, look, a lot of persons don't understand how crazy the UFC can be. It takes just one kick and you are out. Just one punch and you are out. And when you're the champ, everyone is coming at you. And Kamaru Usman over and over again has shown us that consistency that I want to see from a champion. Truly deserves our respect, bro.
Indeed. And going into the fight, you mentioned UFC 251, Kamaru Usman dominated the fight in the clinch with his wrestling. But going into 261, Masvidal talked a lot of smack about how Usman doesn't have the power to knock him out, and he didn't feel his power, all of that. So it's very interesting to see that Kamaru is actually going on to win this fight, not by out-wrestling or out-grappling Masvidal. Is actually going on to knock him out because when it comes to striking in the UFC, Masvidal is one of those guys that is at the very top when it comes to striking. And now Usman is beating him at his own game. I mean, they don't come more convincing than that, Austin.
That tells you he did his research. He went back, took a look at UFC 251. What are some of the mistakes he made? And you know, sometimes it's very tricky when you leave the decision to these judges. You know, depending on what they drink that day, they might just mess you up, you know. So I think Usman didn't like the way it ended. It was a unanimous decision victory, though he dominated it from round 1 to 5.
True.
He said after the fight that he needed to put a definitive end to this Masvidal chapter, and what a way to do it. Second round, crushing right hand, put Masvidal to sleep, went on him with the hammer. And then, if they had not called, if Henry wasn't fast to stop him, would be burying somebody by now.
Thankfully, that's not the case. I mean, Austin Masvidal woke up and was asking what happened.
Yeah, he
was asking his corner what happened, what's going on, guys.
But Austin, before we quickly leave this, leave UFC. I mean, you know, coming into this fight, it was ranked number 2 in the world as, you know, best pound-for-pound fighter when it comes to MMA. And of course, when it comes to welterweight, he's ranked number 1. But right now, where does he stand in terms of UFC? Where is it?
I think the UFC needs to come out and correct that mistake. After the fight, the UFC still had him at number 2, but ESPN had him on number 1 even before the fight, because they understand that, look, no one comes close to this guy. Now he has shown us that he can wrestle, he can strike, he can do the unthinkable. And you underrate Kamaru Usman at your own peril, because first thing first, he's the champ. This is the 4th time he's defending his title, 14th straight victory. He's breaking all the records, longest winning streak in the welterweight. He's chasing Anderson Silva's record now. So that's your best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I don't care what sort of politics they're trying to do with that list, but he said it after he defeated Gilbert Burns. Put some respect on my name. They didn't put that respect. Masvidal has suffered it now. Don't put that respect on that name. He's going to kill Kobe Covington.
Austin, I have no doubts. I'll be very surprised that when the latest list comes out and Kamaru is not at the summit of the pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Before we leave UFC quickly, you mentioned Kobe Covington being the next in line to try and take the title off Kamaru. Dana White did confirm after UFC 261. But we have a development on our hands. Conor McGregor, I want you to take a look at this, has been talking, and I find it very, very funny. Anyways, Cecilia, what's Conor up to?
Is it Usman even copying my shots now? Usman even copying my shots now. Am I to fight this guy at some stage? I think so. Can't be copying my words and my shots and not get a smack for it. I like it, 170, it's mine soon. And Kamaru Usman responded saying that except when I touch you at 170, they go out. They don't even go out at 155 anymore for you. I finish people. You get finished. And there was something else he said after that. He went for that to say that I offered you the fight and you went missing. Let's stay humble, young man. I already took your pride. Don't make me take your whiskey. Now, we know he's not a tough talker, but when it comes to this, Conor McGregor and Kamaru Usman, Austin, is that a fight you want to see?
I want to see this one. I was saying for Kamaru's sake, it's going to be the biggest payday of his career, just for that alone.
Look, McGregor has been coming at Kamaru, you know, but the champ said what he said. He said, look, you're finished. I get people finished, but you are finished. You know, so... It will be a big fight. It is a fight that will put money, you know, on both fighters, you know, bank accounts. But truly, aside from the charisma that Conor brings to the UFC, Tayo, let's be sincere, Cecilia, what else does he have?
I think
he's distracted. I think he knows that he's got some name, but I mean, with the fights that he has lost, that I even put some confidence on him to win, and he didn't win. He's no match for Usman. But he understands that, look, this is the toast of the moment. Everyone's talking about Kamaru Usman. So if I get a good fight, I will. But that's not how to come. Put some respect. That's what Kamaru is saying. Don't talk to the champ that way. That I'm copying your shots.
Can you imagine that? Come on, Conor.
Let's leave him. I mean, we actually want Usman to actually send him to permanent retirement. So he doesn't have to come back again. I think we'll expect that. I think we have to leave UFC now. I know we can continue talking about this for the rest of the show. And quickly touch down on the Women's League. What happened over the weekend? It was a festival of football, I would say, at Ijebu-Ode. And Austin, going into those, having those Super Six, some clubs actually kicked against it from the beginning. But somehow, one of the clubs who championed, I don't want to play Super Six, are the ones that happened to win it. Rivers Angels, as we mentioned earlier, started slowly. Their first 2 games were draws, and the last 3 were 4-0 bashing of the teams they faced, from Bayelsa Queens to Sunshine Queens, and of course to Delta Queens. All those teams, they were beating as if they brought them to the league. This is the result of the final day. Edo Queens and Bayelsa. Edo Queens came and went back without any redemption at all. The Restoration Girls, Bayelsa, yeah, they were able to win their last game, going home with some points, about 5. Sunshine Queens, Rivers Angels, top notch there. Ogene Brummel went further to also score another 2 goals, 5 goals, highest goal scorer of the tournament. And FC Robo and Delta Queens. Delta Queens got the late penalty. It ended in a draw. Now, Rivers Angels crowned champions for the 7th time, 5 times under coach Edwin Okon. Consistency and the kind of players Rivers Angels have. I think they don't really have a match when it comes to the league. This is the celebration after the game. The players excited. They have the commissioner for sport from Rivers State. He was right there to witness the girls, making this historic moment. Austin?
Good show of women's football at the NWFL Super 6 in Ijebu. And what a story. Rivers United, again, did the Kamaru man on women's football. Put some respect on that name, Yeah. I think they were sensing some, some level of politicking that was making them say, look, we shouldn't have these. And they started poorly. 2 draws, first and second games. And then they picked up 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. That's how to win. That's how to, Look, for me, it's a win-win situation for women's football in Nigeria, because we have a quality representative that will go out there to see if they can, pick a ticket to the maiden CAF Women's Champions League. And again, when you talk about these sort of things, you need to look at the Rivers United, Rivers Angels. The states can also bring out money to fund it. Aside that, they have the quality, they can go out there and then represent the country comfortably. But aside Rivers United, Cecilia, let's give a shout out to all the ladies that came out to compete at the Super 6. They played good football. It was so competitive. About 4 teams could still win it on the final day. Tells you that women's football in Nigeria is developing every year. And we need to sustain the momentum. We need to put more investment into women's football. I was glad that the Minister of Youth and Sports Development was there, the NFF president, the deputy governor of Ondo and Edo states. It's time to start giving women the attention. Rivers will look at it and say, oh, Rivers United couldn't take them to the continent, but Rivers Angels is almost doing that. So we need to support women some more in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's not just presence alone. We need them to, dole out the money. I mean, when the league was kicking off, if not for FIFA grants, I'm sure the league wouldn't have kicked off at the time it did. So we expected maybe some form of subvention from the sports ministry, from the Nigerian Football Federation, from the different dignitaries that were all around. Just put money in the game and you see how well it will grow. Your presence, yes, is fine, but let's see, something coming out, sign some checks and, get some sponsorship.
Cecilia, I'm actually sorry because I knew I was going to get you talking. But yes, you're saying the right things, not just your presence, match your presence with some action, go back to your state, For instance, some things did so well, sustain that momentum, Edo Queens, they've been supporting the women football. Equal pay with Bendel Insurance, but they need to find out why the team did do well at the Super 6. Go and correct those wrongs. As you said, that's the right thing. Go put some money, get some more technical expertise, bring in quality coaches, train these girls so that they can, be what they want to be. A lot of them are breadwinners in their families, so if we need to also support them financially is very important, Cecilia.
It's important. But isn't it? Okay. Yeah, the Rivers Angels will now have to take part in a playoff. In a playoff in Wafu B zone. And we know that because Nigeria happens to be the champions of the ALCON, there's supposed to be another representative coming from Wafu B. I don't know how they're going to sort that out. So wait and see what will happen in that. If they sort that out, so it simply means Nigeria will have 2 representatives, going into Waffle B and also going into the CAF Champions League. But for Rivers Angels, they still have one more hurdle to cross. Go to Waffle B and dominate West Africa and get the slot to the continent. So it's not over yet, right?
It's not. No,
yeah, okay.
no, yet. Anyways, so congratulations to Rivers United expected.
Rivers Angels.
Rivers Angels, the champions of the Nigerian Women's Premiership Super 6. I thought after they started slowly, SC Robomai just have a couple of things to say. And they kind of just fizzled out in the last 2 games. And
experience counts.
Yeah,
that's what they really don't have.
It's a bit of a shame, but they still put up a good performance.
Yeah, they did.
Good showing. All right, let's get on with the show now, Cecilia. Before we go and talk about the Carabao Cup, there's the little matter of the MPFL on the 15th.
Yeah, MPFL La Liga on the 15th promises the group phase. Yes, let's take a look at the results played over the weekend. Yes, these boys are playing good football. Aqua United and okay, that's the match day night fixtures for today. Yes, that's what we're talking about today. Heartland and MFM will be in action. Aqua United and Kano Pillars. You also have Katsina and Warri Wolves. These are the games that will be played today. Okay. All right, leave that, and of course, Carabao Cup, the League Cup that Tayo is saying we should name after Manchester City. Yeah, it's possible, right?
I mean, final confirmation.
Header, just
1-0.
1-0. It ended.
City. Four in a row, 8 overall. That's remarkable. And they were always, the favourites for the game against Tottenham yesterday. 1-0 suggests it was a close game. Now, it was far from it. City dominated from start to finish. Hugo Lloris made some fantastic saves, kept Tottenham in the game, but eventually they were going to falter, and that's exactly what they did when Aymeric Laporte, that's the man in your picture, rose highest to head the ball past Lloris, and 1-0, that's how it ended. Austin, let's talk about the City's dominance of this competition. This competition is one of those competitions that it's not the biggest, and you find some fans actually looking down upon it, but not this City side with Pep Guardiola in charge. This guy's won the biggest titles there is in football, but still takes this competition very seriously. I'm sure other managers can learn a lot from this guy.
That's right, and then it gives Mourinho some vindication when he says that every cup competition is important. Look at how Manchester City is going on with it. Jose says any win that we get persons talking about you elevates the brand, and that's what winning the Carabao Cup is doing for Manchester City. And he moved them level with Liverpool as the most successful side in the competition's history. So underrate this competition at your own peril, because if you win it, the media talks about you, you get a lifted trophy, and then it will motivate your players. So it's a cup competition, that's what it is. And for Manchester City, they needed to prove a point, winning it at the 4th consecutive year. Look, this Pep Guardiola side, any competition you put them, Pep understands what it means to win, and he knows that there's nothing that beats keeping the winning mentality. And with 8,000 supporters in attendance, that's the most we've had at any game in England since the outbreak of the COVID-19. It was a good way to say welcome, to the fans, appreciate them. I wanted Tottenham to win in some way because I'm the upset guy. It would have been good to see Ryan Mason smash all the records, the youngest English Premier League manager. It would have become the first manager in history to win a trophy in 1 week. Because it didn't happen for him, because it's Pep Guardiola, it's Manchester City, they're big side, they love winning. Whether you call it the Carabao Cup, look, put together a Lagos Cup, Manchester City is in it, they will come and win it.
Yeah, it's all about the winning culture, and that's what Pep Guardiola has managed to inculcate into his team. Let's take a listen to Pep Guardiola speaking after yet another triumph in the Carabao Cup.
I'm so delighted, for the guys, and I have a thought for the guys who didn't play. The first thought as always is for them, because they deserve to play, and unfortunately they could not play. For Fernandinho and Sergio, that they are the players with more caps in this competition, and 4 times in a row. It it was a nice competition because Arsenal, United away and Spurs to win it, so it's more than well deserved, and especially the way they perform. So it was a good night for us to share it with our people, the representing all the people was at home. So, and yeah, share it with them sounds better. They meet some good noise, so it's better, of course.
They're a great side. They're an incredible team, incredible team. But I think our group of players gave everything, absolutely everything, with what they've had to deal with in the last 6 or 7 days, the lack of preparation. But they gave everything, absolutely everything today. So that's something to be proud of. It's difficult to take. It's difficult to take for the group of players, for everyone associated with a football club. But we have to move on. Yeah, pain. It hurts. I've been sitting in there as a player. I've played for this football club and I've lost the cup final. I know what it's like. I know that feeling, and it's normal that they're hurting.
Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We still have Austin with us, and we're reviewing the Carabao Cup final between Man City and Tottenham. Yesterday, City, of course, in case you missed it, have won the competition for the 4th straight time. But what about Tottenham? They've lost 6 finals. They've lost 6 times at Wembley now in neutral games, and their trophy drought continues for God knows how long. It's now been 13 going on 14 years now since they last won a trophy. The last one was in 2008. And Austin, it still boggles the mind, the decision of Daniel Levy to sack Jose Mourinho, who led them into the final 6 days before taking on Man City. I still cannot understand it. If there's any manager in the world who has proven in the past that he can beat Pep Guardiola in one-off games, it's Jose. But instead, we had a 29-year-old, like you said, in charge, in the dugout, against arguably the best manager in the world, in Pep Guardiola. Tottenham never stood a chance in this game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they didn't have a chance, but for Daniel Levy, it's all about the money perspective, Tayo, because if they keep Jose, definitely there's been some talks on the ground and there's been some bad blood that we don't know about. If they keep Jose and Jose goes on to win the Carabao Cup, his bonus will grow.
So what?
And then when you sack him, you're going to be paying more. So what? So they thought about it, look, let's just let this guy go. And if you keep Jose and then he goes on to win, Jose is too real. He will come out and tell us things we don't know about the club, and then say some things and probably charge them and take a walk. Yeah. So there's, the best way of defense is what? Is to attack. So let's attack this guy, take him out. But it made no sense. Look at the way the Tottenham players cried, That cup final meant so much to them. They would have loved to win it. And as you said, the trophy drought, continues at Tottenham. I think it's a decent club. Right from when they made it to the Champions League final to date, they've been on the decline. And that's not good. You're supposed to sustain the momentum. But hey, that's what football is all about. Probably that's what all of these owners looked at and said, look, with COVID-19 and what it costs, that's why they started thinking about the European Super League, find some way to, get some money for themselves, because big clubs, you pay big manager, you pay big players, but someone at FIFA and UEFA will be smiling. They wanted to take their destinies into their hands, but it didn't happen. But I feel so bad for Tottenham. I really wish they pick themselves back up and start winning again.
Yeah, I think it's all about the money for me. That's what I can even get at from what you've just talked about.
That's ridiculous. Why should the money be prioritized over winning a trophy?
That's what it, exactly, and that's what Seferin, UEFA president, that's what he said when he talked about clubs that are concerned about how many followers on Twitter they have, how much money they're making. They're not even concerned about the trophies anymore or winning. So it's all about the money, and that's why you can actually decide to fire a manager 6 days to when you will win your first trophy in like how many years?
Yeah, since 2008.
2008. So it's ridiculous, Austin. Okay, we have to leave it at that.
Austin,
thank you so much for joining us again this morning. Thursday, right?
Always
We'll
a
see you
delight.
again.
Always a delight, guys. I'm super excited. Money's not stopping me from doing the show.
I get
Nice
that.
one,
Nice.
Austin. Thank you. Enjoy
All
the
right,
rest of your
guys. Take
day.
care. Have a good one.
All right. Cheers. There you go.
Do we have to listen to those fans who went to Wembley to see the game for the first time?
They're all excited to be back.
Yeah, you know what it feels like to watch a cup final at Wembley? They're excited.
It's exciting, isn't it? It's strange, though, we said walking down here, because obviously we've been cup finals a lot of times. Walking down, the atmosphere, it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah,
It doesn't
not quite
feel
normal,
it's not quite the same, no. But we're excited to go back in, aren't we?
Very excited, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be back at football is absolutely amazing. It's been, 13 months since going to a game. Prior to that, been to every single match with my dad and my brother for like the last, prior 15 years. So it's incredible. The buzz, the excitement, being here is amazing.
Excitement, yeah?
Indeed.
That's how it feels like. They can't wait to have full capacity.
Things starting to return to normal.
To normal, that's what it's looking
in
like.
sports, we saw UFC, 15,000 fans
also.
In Jacksonville, Florida, to watch that game. Basketball games in the NBA as well, so fans starting to return
coming in
to the arena.
Let's touch down in La Liga. Barcelona fans, yes, Barcelona beat Villarreal.
Wow.
And Chukwueze was in action. He scored a goal, but he was on the losing side. So Barcelona right now, they're closing in. Barcelona, Real Madrid, same points. Barcelona goal difference more, but because of the head-to-head when it comes to the El Clasico, that's what is saving Real Madrid right now. Any points they drop, Barcelona have a game in hand that likely to... La Liga is still very tough right now.
We have a title race in our hands. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona in that order. And don't be too quick to discount Sevilla as well to 73, 71, 71, and 70 points. Anyways, this game was about Samuel Chukwueze gave Villarreal the lead, but Antoine Griezmann replied not long afterwards and scored a second goal, and Barcelona held on for a 2-1 victory.
They had a player sent off. Maybe if that wasn't sent off, maybe they could have.
Perhaps.
Yeah. But good one for Chukwueze, scoring, and this is what I want to see, not just being man of the match. Score goals, and...
I think we can all agree that it needs to produce more in the final third. Assists and goals for a forward player, those are the parameters we are judged on.
Those are the stats we look at.
Yeah.
All right, tweets before we look at the papers. Noble Flyerman says, congratulations, Rivers Angels. They should go and do the nation proud, unlike Aimba presently. The guys in charge should financially support the girls and not play lip service or use it as a political game. Yeah, thank you for thanking us. Ejike says, talking about Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman said he gave the crowd what they wanted. The crowd booed. What else do they want? In my opinion, these were boos of approval. Congratulations to him. Proudly Nigerian. We are taking over.
Yes, indeed.
He's the best.
Yeah. Boston as well.
Okay. Boston says, with hindsight, maybe Tottenham should not have sacked Jose before the cup finals. Kamara is another level at his weight class.
Different level.
Yeah, different level. He's just a few fights from being considered the greatest of all time.
At this rate, he's going to get to that stage, definitely, to that status. Professor Enaina as well, too. You're talking about tennis. Men's tennis is still hibernating. It's time for change of the guards. That's the three amigos, Rafael Nadal, Djokovic, and the greatest of all time, Roger Federer. And you're banking on the likes of Daniil Medvedev, Stefanos Tsitsipas, to find a way to wrestle these competitions and these titles from this guy. Joseph, we got your message as well, too. Good for Man City winning the Carabao Cup. The desired big prize, though, is the UEFA Champions League, and they take on PSG this week.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the papers before we go on the show. All right.
Okay, I start with a Sporting Sun here. Chukwueze scores a super goal in defeat to Barcelona. Warming up for the clash against Arsenal. That's Europa.
Yeah, that's
Europa
true.
League. Yeah, that's a warm up. Send a message. Kamaru Usman dedicates belts to dad. Yeah, I forgot to mention that the father for the first time.
Moment.
You know, the father was, was able to watch him after he went to jail after he was released from prison.
Yeah.
So watching him, I mean, it was awesome. He has always wanted that. It
was a very lovely touch to see Kamaru put the belt around the waist of his dad. After all these years.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Complete Sports now. That's the next paper for review.
Yeah, Terem Murphy. I mean, this guy is hitting everywhere. Beat Osimhen's League One record.
Look
That's
at that.
the one to watch out for.
Wow.
Osimhen had a fantastic time in Liga. Right now, you have
Terem Murphy.
So watch that name.
Hat-trick for Lorient over the weekend. That's a name to definitely watch going forward.
And Simi won't go down to Serie B with Crotone, okay?
No chance.
No chance.
Not after scoring 19 goals.
The coach confirmed that he will leave.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, there are teams lining up to get Simi Nwankwo to the team.
Get him out of that Crotone.
Last paper is Sporting live Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifiers. General studying opponents, of course, that's a job. Onuachu is in the news as well too. Really telling us he likes Arsenal, and Onuachu will be another player in demand this off-season. Inter to rival Barcelona for Aguero. PSG versus Barcelona, that's in the UEFA Women's Champions League. Oshuala returned in that game and played 26 minutes.
Happy to have her back from injury.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great day.
I am Taya Salam. Join us again tomorrow.